Now this will be interesting if anybody shows up to this one. Hopefully I can pay attention if somebody does show up. Maybe cut out this beginning part when I'm trying to figure out where to put the camera so I can see if somebody does message me. Probably not going to film the canning part. Well, Skirin is here. Seems I have caught you again. Planning to make anything good? I'm gonna can these beans. Got my canner right there. This would be a lot of beans to eat. What are you doing today that you happened upon me? Oh, I'm just gonna can them plain. Just salt. And then whenever I decide to actually use them, then I'll add something delicious, maybe. You're doing fairly well. It's been a slow morning. Is it still morning for you? I've probably already asked you this, but where are you? You're a night owl, so your morning is between 11 and 2 p.m. And it's 2:30 right now. You're in Eastern. You're in the Eastern time zone. Okay. I am in Central time zone. I am in Iowa. I think you know that based on my channel name. I am also a night owl, but I have to get up early because Aaron goes to work really early. You might have guessed. Yep. I kind of wish this made some sort of sound when I got a message or something. You just a tiny little click. They don't have that option. So I have to make sure to watch. That's okay. What's your favorite thing to do? I think they avoid doing that. I think they avoid it doing that so people with really busy streams don't end up being, yes, I think you're absolutely right. Makes perfect sense. So I apologize if you say something and I don't respond because I didn't see it, because they still don't have the option to just leave the chat instead of making it disappear. Favorite thing? I write. I'm always working on something, whether it's a two-person back and forth thing or a fan fiction or original work. That is incredible. I admire writers. Have you written today? Are you doing a project right now? I've done a little with my bestie, but I have a huge fandom work I need to get back to. So much research needed, though. I understand that. I understand research a lot. It's cool you have a bestie. Trying to compile things from canon sources and fan created things that were submitted to me for the project. Cool. Do you do that for work? Or is it 100% a fun thing? Well, it's not anything I'm paid for, but I really enjoy contributing to my online communities. Very good. Well, if you ever publish something, let me know. So many beans. Last time I was published was in a compilation as a teenager, but I'll be sure to mention it. Sounds good. Same here. I had one thing ever published, and it was when I was in community college and I was in my writing class. And they chose my article as the winner, which is kind of cool. Felt special. I ended up with several poems published by myself. Cool, you even write poetry. Poetry is something I never practiced. I don't even write poetry anymore. Oh, well, I only wrote it because I had to in writing class. No, you just do stuff when you're told to do it when you're in school. Well, that's cool. You enjoy writing. So do you enjoy reading then? I used to write it outside of that too, admittedly. But these days, I prefer world building stuff. Wow, so you must have an amazing imagination. Full of creativity. It's more that I have a lot of practice. Writing is a learnable skill, and I don't think enough people realize that. You are right about that. Yep, it's definitely something if you practice, you get better. As for reading, I tend to circle fan fiction circles and find new material I want to get involved in. Through stories people write where they put two fandoms together when I don't know one of the two. I don't know if I've ever read such a thing, and I'm having a hard time visualizing it. Do you have an example? Maybe I would be interested. Well, I got into Marvel ages ago through a supernatural crossover with it because I was like, these both have a Loki. Are they any are there any stories that have two Lokis? Hmm. I don't know. Are there? Did you find it? Are there two stories? Is there a story with two Lokis? I only know, like you said, the Marvel. And then I remember in the Mask, but I think it's the same Loki. But in the Mask, Loki's the one that made the mask. I found one and it was really long. Oh, they must have been passionate about it. Often having several books in a series. Oh yeah, fan fiction tends to have a range of lengths, and while novels and in person are average 50,000 words, most fan fictions that aren't a one-off are much longer, often having several books in a series. Hmm. bean flung at me. Thing with fan fiction is because of legal reasons, it's always written for the love of the thing, since you can't get paid for it, which means they're often much more involved in certain ways. Authors might like their fans, but they're not trying to make a paycheck. See? I do see, yes. This is a topic I can go on about a lot, since it's kind of what I do for the most part. I'm very interested in stories. Well, you're welcome to keep talking about it if you want. I don't have anything to talk about. I was hoping whoever came to visit me had something to talk about, so you're welcome to keep talking. And I will read it, and I will respond. You're going to have a whole stream log about fan fiction and fandom, and that makes me laugh. Well, laughter is probably one of my favorite things. Jane Sauer is here to join us. Hi there, are you canning the beans? Love the chat. I am going to can the beans. My canner is right there. I'm going to hot pack them. This will only be my second time using my pressure canner. I canned beans about a month ago for the first time in my whole life, and it was very exciting. Now we're going to do it again. And it's very satisfying when you're done and you have those jars of canned beans. They look so pretty. Oh, look at this bean. It's a very individual bean, wanting to be unique from the other beans. I have never had enough of anything to can, but I have gotten in the habit of making fridge pickles on accident, so I definitely bid you good luck. That bean looks like a fidget toy. It kind of did. I still need to do pickles, because I've got cucumbers, but I've never done pickles before. Maybe I should just do the fridge pickles like you for the first time. When I'm done with these beans, I'll look into pickles. Because my pickles can't sit in the fridge. I mean, my cucumbers cannot sit in the fridge much longer. Whoops. Dropped a bean. Well, I don't tend to eat pickles, but I keep getting those smaller Asian pickles and then rushing to pickle them before they get bad. Eat cucumbers, rather. I make pickles and relishes, but have never canned anything. I have not made pickles or relish, but I want to. So I will. Soon. Ish. Well, pickling in the fridge is super easy with cucumbers, to be honest. Lots of salt, sugar, vinegar, and some herbs into the fridge. I've got to do that. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I probably won't be able to do it tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it Sunday. And if not Sunday, maybe Monday. But I can't wait much longer because my cucumbers need to be used. I have been trying to figure out what your shirt says. It is a Harry Potter shirt, and it says Herbology. And then it's got the plants from the different kind of weird plants from the story. I don't know if you like Harry Potter or not, but it is a Harry Potter shirt. It is a Herbology Harry Potter shirt. Oh, that explains what looks like a wild spray of consonants under the L. Yes. Exactly. I can't say anything. I'm wearing a lot of flowers today myself. Are you? What kind of flowers? What kind of flower wear are you wearing? Like 3 different patterns between my 2 shirts and my skirt. Pattern mix. Cool. Flowers are nice. I've got flowers blooming in my garden today. I uploaded a ridiculously long video this morning. All of them have purple though. Cool. that video was just me picking the beans. Just for fun. Yeah, I saw you had 2 videos, but this one was newer, so I looked at this one first to see if I'd catch you. Yes, the other one was a video, and this one is a stream. So if you were super bored and you wanted to see, you'd see my kitties. They were out in the garden with me. And you'd see my chickens, and you'd see my dog. But I'm just picking beans and talking to myself. So you'd have to be very bored or very interested in bean picking. Or a combination of those 2 things. I mean, I'll probably peek in just to see what your critters look like. Might not be in an in-depth watch, though. I know me. Oh, that's okay. I expect nothing. You're so nice to always show up. You always watch my videos and leave me a really funny or a really kind comment. I will say that it amuses me when I show up in your chat. I end up just taking over. That's okay. If anybody wants to talk, they can. I can carry on multiple conversations. It will keep me alert. Anyway, thank you for always being here. That's what I want to say. I have no idea why I'm so invested in responding to your stuff, but it makes me happy, too. I don't actually comment on most things on YouTube at all. Well, I feel special because you always leave me, like, some of the longest comments, and I love it. So thank you for taking the time to write. It means a lot. I don't usually leave comments very often either, but when I do, they're never very long. I guess because I usually don't know what to say. It's usually just a compliment of some sort. Well, I think it's because I noticed when I found you that you only had short comments on your stuff, and I was just like, I will answer everything she says, and then it stuck. Aww. Well, I love it. I really do. Also, you respond back, which is nice too. It's more of a conversation, even if I don't do a lot of back and forth in the comment sections. Well, I try to respond to everybody on all of my channels. because I want them to know I care. Because I do. I like my people. I take the time to visit me. It shows. Also, your video style is engaging. Question mark. A lot of people don't really make me feel like I have anything to respond to, which is part of why I don't bother. Oh, well, then I appreciate that. I like hearing that you consider my videos engaging. I need to think of something to ask so that you want to answer. To remain engaged. That's how I learned you're a writer, though, huh? Jane says, have fun, I have to go. It's past 8 here in England. Well, thank you for stopping by this evening, Jane. I'm so glad you were here. Have a wonderful night. "8 p.m. in England." For some reason, I actually figured they were even farther ahead than that, but that's just 6 hours. 6 hours ahead. Isn't that amazing that the technology now, somebody from England can just show up to say hello to someone in Iowa, and it's just no big deal anymore? Isn't that something? How easy it is to communicate across the world. It's wild. I wonder how much of a delay there was. She was probably long gone when I said goodbye. Don't mind me. I was changing my icon picture and closed the wrong tab. But you're right. I used to have a friend in Japan I talked to every day. Wow! Can you speak Japanese? Not much, a few words here and there. Same here. Nihongo ga skoshi wakarimasu. I used to study it. I don't study it anymore, but I should. It's a good brain exercise since they have completely different alphabet. I can say the same for a few languages, honestly, and it's not a functional conversation for any of them. Same. I can speak a little bit of Spanish and then a little bit of Japanese, and that's about it. I remember one time as a kid, I very seriously told someone trying to speak to me in Spanish, no habla en español, with perfect inflection. They were so confused. So, why were they confused? Because you said that so well? Is that why? It'd be like me saying to you, I don't speak English, and saying it like that. Maybe. Because it was said so clearly. Okay. That's funny. I haven't had that experience. There's only one time I actually spoke Spanish to somebody who was Spanish speaking, like that was their language. And it was in a grocery store when I was working, and they were asking me, "Where's the bathroom?" Which is funny. And so I could tell them in Spanish where the bathroom was. And that was my only life experience speaking another language to somebody who couldn't speak English. And it made my day. All those years in high school, studying Spanish, and it paid off. I learned almost all of my Spanish from my dad and my grandma speaking it to me as a kid. Really? That means you could be almost bilingual, right? I would know more, but my mom didn't speak it, and she didn't want us talking a language she didn't know. That's really interesting, though. So, was your dad bilingual then, and your grandma? That's pretty cool. My mom spoke a tiny bit of Dutch while we grew up. I mean, I only know a few words. I couldn't ever carry on a conversation in Dutch. It'd be pretty cool if I could, though. My grandma spoke more Spanish than English, and my dad spoke a few languages, which makes it sad. I could know Italian. I do not. Isn't that frustrating? Because it's normal in a lot of countries to speak more than one language, and it's just not that way in America, and I wish so bad it was. That it was emphasized more to know a second language. But it's just really not. I used to know enough to middle through sign language, but I'm sadly out of practice and have forgotten. But that I can relearn. Sign language. I remember learning sign language in middle school and thinking it was the coolest thing ever, and I did try to be able to do a little bit, but That was middle school. That was years ago. Sign language is really neat. I even remember learning hieroglyphics, but I don't know how accurate that was. I remember thinking that was so cool, and I tried to learn hieroglyphics. When I was a waitress, it was frustrating realizing how much I forgot when they had to resort to writing their order and pointing. Oh, I understand. Where were you a waitress? And did you like being a waitress? That was when I lived in Indiana. Oh, my in-laws live in Marion, Indiana. If you know where that is. Being a waitress was nice at one place, the singularly owned store, and bad at the other, the chain diner. That makes sense. Isn't that something? Man, time is ticking away. I gotta get this done before Aaron gets home. Yeah, pretty sure the diner was committing income fraud or something back then. I believe it. The bigger the company, the bigger the... They made you claim enough tips for minimum wage even if you didn't make it to be able to leave. Wow. I wonder if they're still in business. Yeah, I'm really glad I don't have to deal with that anymore. And I hope those guys ended up fired. It was a mess. I hope they were fired too. And I hope they straightened out. These days, I can focus on my writing and art. Good. That's what I want you to do. What kind of art do you make? Do you paint or draw? Or needlework? Yeah, I've got plans with a friend to go to a convention next summer, so I have 2 outfits to sew up and make patterns for. Ooh, convention like Comic-Con? What kind of convention? Where you gotta make a costume. So you're a sewer. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm good. I mean, I'm going to the one in DC. I've never been to one, but they're very popular. Every time they come to Iowa, it's a big deal. have. I've been to several kinds. Oh. If one considers the Ren Fair, one I used to go every year. Renaissance Fair. I had to think about that. I've never been to the Renaissance Fair either. They have that here every year, but I've just never gone. It's popular here. I guess I like to stay home too much. You should go to the Renaissance Fair at least one time. People there are immensely friendly, always. Well, then maybe I will. I need to get an outfit. I didn't make a dress. They're harvesting the beans next to me. Which is funny because I'm harvesting my beans today. If you can, try to take an empty, ye old-fashioned looking mug on your belt so you can get water from the sinks instead of paying for it. That's smart. I bet the water is outrageous, isn't it? A bottle of water is probably $5. Yeah, this year at mine it was like $3.50 a bottle. That's so much money. That is so much money. That's how much it costs to buy 30 of them at Walmart. I guess they're making a profit, aren't they? Yeah, this is why I say make it part of your costume. And if you take water bottles with you, stick them in a bag. Smart. I can tell you're experienced. See, I say all this, but I never got around to doing any of these things. Well, it happens. I can say I am guilty of the exact same thing. Different topics. How did you happen to be here when I started streaming? Was there like an alert, or you just happened to see? Well, there's Arlene. Hi, Arlene. I'm so happy you're here. You're here to visit me. Still snapping beans. 51 minutes later. Almost done though, I think. Sort of. What are you up to, Arlene? On this Friday afternoon. I noticed, but was notified that you were live. I'm not up to anything. I see you're snapping beans. Been a long time since I've done that. Yep, I am snapping beans. I picked them this morning. And now I'm snapping them. And then I'm going to can them. And then we're going to eat them in the winter. I'm looking forward to it. When it's all cold outside and I open up one of these canned beans for the first time, that'll be pretty cool. I hope they taste good. Because I've never canned before a month ago. Did my first canning of green beans. We used to do that every year. Now I don't have room for a garden. Oh, I'm sorry that you don't have room for a garden. Why is that? Are you moved to a different place? Here comes a big semi driving by. Full of harvest. Huge semi. Moved to town, don't have a big enough yard, but we're closer to the doctors. That's what we need now. Oh. Well, I understand. I've never been good at gardening myself, so I admire anyone who can. I have an indoor shelf of plants, but that's it. Well, this was my first garden. Never done it before. So, if you have a place, anybody can garden. I sure learned a lot, though. I have COPD and hubby has liver cancer. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm very sorry to hear that. I hope you're able to keep your spirits up. An herb shelf in my kitchen? Oh, I've got plans. Yes. First, I need to remove this yellow fake cardboard brick on the wall. That's what that is. And then repair the wall. And then, yes, I'm going to be putting up shelves and what have you. I'm looking forward to it because I don't really have many places to put things still. And I've got all my soap making ingredients still in a box. Several boxes, actually. Wait, that's cardboard? Did they just paint anything? Yes, they did. They painted everything. They just painted stuff and made it look cheap and ugly. Sorry about that. Yes, they were... I don't know what they were. Yes, that is painted with tons of screw holes in it. All over the place. From the sounds of it, they handled everything in creation, so I was starting to wonder. Yes, they paneled everything. Things were paneled at some point, but then the Amish painted everything. Arlene says he's doing good though. He's been on chemo since March, every 3 weeks. It's a weird new treatment that is supposed to make his body fight just the cancer and not attack any other issues. Well, that's interesting. So, did he lose his hair? With this new treatment? Or is it able to just pinpoint? Nope. And has not been sick at all. Well, I sure hope this is a successful new thing. I'm so happy to hear that. Really happy to hear that. That is wonderful news. How many beans do you have in that never-ending pile? It's infinite. So I'm just going to be doing this forever. So you might as well start writing a story about it. He just gets a little tired after a day or two. We'll know if it's working in a week or two. So March, April, May, June, July, August. So he's been on chemo for over 6 months. And are you gonna have like probably a scan of some sort to see how it's going? Or there's actually a bucket of beans that I haven't washed yet because I was trying to decide if I wanted to do all of them today. It's just sitting in front of me. I have a feeling I'm running out of time though. It's already 2:30. I don't have time to do all of them. MRI and CT scan, one on Sunday and one on Tuesday. I've never had an MRI, but I've had several CT scans. Well, I hope that all is well. I really do. Me too. Every year on my lungs. Really? So, I actually am not very educated on COPD. What exactly, when they do CT scans, what is it? What are they looking for or checking on? I sense this is going to be a long explanation. I bet it is. I should just research it. So that she doesn't have to feel obligated to type it all out. Flies are really bad this year. Oh, I already said that in my soap video. You already know that. They still are. It needs to cool off a little bit so the flies can go away. I ended up with a fruit fly in my bedroom. I was displeased, to say the least. A fruit fly. I am displeased every time I see a fruit fly as well. At least it was just a fruit fly. Just buzzing around my face. They do it on purpose. They know. They know it bothers us. I don't know what their plan is. Well, when it comes time to canning today, I'm probably not going to stream it because running out of time, and I can't get distracted because Aaron will be home in 2 hours. Yeah, we had a huge volley of them in the kitchen, but one ended upstairs with more notable to me somehow. Well, maybe you're just sweet like fruit. That's all I can figure. COPD stands for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. It affects the lungs, usually caused by smoking, but not always. They check to see how much of your lungs are affected. It's incurable, but manageable. So, is it really hard to live with? Or is the manageableness like, well, I have this and it's annoying, but it's not a huge deal? Or is it awful? I guess I'm wondering. Have they come up with good medical management that makes life okay or good? Thank you for the explanation, by the way. But what I was saying is that when I'm done snapping these beans, I'm probably going to turn off the stream because I have to be super serious and get this done before Aaron gets home. Because I still need to cook him food and all that. Unless he wants to pick up a pizza. Maybe that would be fun. Pizza is always nice as a treat. Yeah, it is. Whenever we do get it, we would only get it on either a Friday or a Saturday because that's when we would do movie night if we were mutually agreed on a movie night. Maybe I will text him. It's not fun. For a long time, I was able to control it with inhalers. Now it's progressed to where I'm on oxygen 24/7. Still on inhalers, of course. I get short of breath very easy. I am so sorry to hear that, Arlene. I hope you have found activities that don't require you to do a whole lot of motion. I hope you've been able to find satisfactory things. Like, I hope you're happy is what I want. I'm sorry that you're going through this. And I wish you weren't, but I'm thankful that you're here. I really am. I can see the end of Bean Mountain. Yes, now it's just Bean plains. Yep, I'm almost done. I'm excited to be almost done. At least with this batch. I have my bucket here. Yes, I make soap, sourdough bread, and now I've learned how to make yogurt in my Instant Pot. I keep busy and getting out to church helps. That's good, Arlene. Just in time for me to go make dinner then. Yes, that's true. That way you don't have to be distracted looking at me when you could be doing your dinner. I've never done sourdough bread yet. I have made bread. Actually, I only make our bread now. But I have not tried sourdough. I should. You can create your own starter, right, for sourdough? Doesn't sourdough take at least overnight to make? I think so. I hope Arlene tells us. I think it's a longer process. Pretty sure. Compared to just making yeast bread. Because you can make that in a day. Depending on what kind. Some of my beans were in the fridge too long. The chickens get, this is all of my scrap parts. Chickens get all that. It's so easy. Just YouTube it. And yes, you can make your own starter. And it does take overnight, but it's just sitting there after you mix it up. I hope I need to try that this winter. When it starts getting cold and I start baking a whole bunch again, I will try sourdough. And yes, my chickens, well, I hope they're going to be fat because winter's coming. And they do not have a heated coop, but they do have an insulated coop. Three ingredients: flour, wheat, and salt. Really? Well, how do you get that? How do you get that? I'll look it up. I'll look it up on YouTube. Do either of you know how to make sauerkraut? Can't you make sauerkraut with just salt and cabbage? So I got a cabbage in the garden and I wanted to try sauerkraut. That's it for the beans. You know, I never looked it up. That's okay. I looked it up, but I made it, or I tried to make it once already, but it turned out mushy. I just did, so I think you're right, though. My first try was a couple weeks ago, and it turned out mushy. And so I looked it up, and it's because the temperature was too high, which it was really hot in the house. So I'm gonna try again, but make sure it's cool. The starter is flour and water. No, I love sauerkraut, but I don't know how to make it. Find out and let us know. Okay, I will. I'll find out. I've got to try. I could try the same thing again, or I could try a different one. But I just got to make sure it's cooler. Anyway, I have finished snapping these beans. I actually do have this bucket over here, but I am just running out of time. All the prep work that comes with canning takes all day, especially if you just picked your stuff that morning. Anyway, I'm actually gonna go, but I had this was, oh look, a bean, a secret bean. Some foods be like that. Yes, this is true. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go because I need to have zero distractions as I continue the canning process. I really appreciate your company. Otherwise, I would have been sitting here all by myself. Bye. Always nice chatting with you. Enjoy your magic bean. Nice talking to you. See you later. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you both so much. And I hope that your weekend is incredible. I hope you do something that you love. So, see you later.